There are moments in football that refuse to stay inside 90 minutes. They spill into chants, into living rooms, into family arguments, into comment threads that never die. One of the purest, rawest forms of that spillover is the goal celebration, aimed not at neutral fans, but at the faces of the club that raised you. When a player lights the spark of triumph in front of his former supporters, it isn't just joy. It's history being rewritten in real time. Think of a sprint that became an icon, a gesture that became a scar. Think of Adebayor running the full length of a stadium, a vault of emotion that caught the world's attention because it was equal parts personal and theatrical. He had left Arsenal for Manchester City, and when the ball hit the net he chose to run, to point, to let a stadium remember the moment with a split second of pure confrontation. The image endured because it made an argument. Sometimes a goal is a sentence, and every sentence has readers. But Adebayor's run is only the most famous headline in a long anthology of players who celebrated as if to say, "This is mine." Robin van Persie, who moved to Manchester United after years as Arsenal's talisman, scored at Old Trafford and wheeled away with a smile that told 1,000 stories about loyalty lost and new allegiances found. It was a look that separated chapters. He was no longer theirs. Wayne Rooney's return to Goodison, the ground where he announced himself as a teenager, carried the weight of a hometown and a destination. When he kissed the badge, it wasn't vanity, it was an answer to jeers that had built up in years of changing uniforms and expectations. Ian Wright's celebrations against Crystal Palace were born of a different history, a player who had been booed and derided and yet still chose to rejoice publicly because sometimes celebration is the only honest reply to hatred. Paul Ince, slamming in a late equaliser for Liverpool against Manchester United, celebrated with a look that acknowledged the complexity of careers spent crossing rival lines. And in a modern twist, Jack Grealish's goal for England against the country he'd represented at youth level provoked the same debate on a national scale. Do you celebrate the past or the present? Across these stories a pattern appears. The goal is a legal fact. The celebration is interpretation. For fans the act can feel like a betrayal. The team wasn't just a job, it was an identity. And for players the gesture is often a pressure valve, a human response to taunts, contracts and career decisions that have been dissected in public. Social media now amplifies what used to be local fury into global conversation. Old rivalries get new life with every clip and reaction video. But beyond the outrage lies a deeper question about ownership. Who owns a player's relationship with a club once they've left? Is it the fans who remember his childhood runs, or the player who must create new memories to survive? Those 5 celebrations, the sprint, the kiss, the wheeling away, the fist pump, the defiant smile, don't just settle scores on a scoreboard. They force a city, a stadium, a country to reconsider a simple, brutal truth. In a business where loyalty can be bought and sold, moments of celebration are sometimes the only place where raw, unedited feeling still shows. So the next time a former hero runs to the crowd, ask yourself which side of the story you're on, and whether the moment belongs to the club that raised him, the one that paid for him, or the player himself.